Welcome everybody to this COTM Award Day. So today we want to celebrate the 9 top contributors for 2023 and 2024. Here they are. So the COTM Award Day is a way of recognizing our top contributors, the most dedicated members of the KNIME open source community. The COTM, is the contributor of the month. Every month we choose the most proficient, most visible, most expert contributor of the KNIME community. So today we have gathered the contributors of the month selected from August 2023 to July 2024. Here they are. So those are our guests here today. Not all of them could come, but anyway, I'm going to give you in detail a little introduction to the contributor of the month that should have been here. And we will have a few today here. So the first one is Angel Molina Aguna. Of course, if you follow LinkedIn or Twitter or any of the social media and you follow KNIME, you will have seen the post that Angel produces, writes. So he's extremely active, extremely creative, and so you will have probably seen his enthusiastic voice on social media. Then we'll have Arif from Sharif. He's the voice of Indonesia. He does a lot of things with KNIME. He has become the first KNIME certified trainer. But the thing that I have to say, at least for me, is the most impressive initiative that he has created is that he has traveled the whole country trying to educate about KNIME and about the data science techniques. People of all ages, from high school students, university students, and also age professionals. So everybody has been taught by Arif in Indonesia. And then we have Robin Richter. Robin Richter is the author of the From SPSS Modeler to KNIME. He's, already putting together the booklet is a really huge achievement, but he is also an organizer of the DACH events in the DACH region in Europe, and of course, he's also a certified trainer. Then we have Samuel Webb. Here we go into the developer kind of a skill. So Samuel is the developer behind the LASA public plugin extension. So if you have ever used any of the nodes from the LASA extension, they were developed mainly by Samuel. He's also the author of the Slack integration extension. And now we have the ninjas. Well, we will explain who the ninjas are, but they are related. They are the ones who took part in the Just KNIME challenges and completed 3 of them. Manuel Schwarze, he's another developer, is the man behind the RDKit nodes. If you have installed the RDKit extension, then he's the man who has developed the nodes, and he has developed also the wizard tool to create more nodes. Then we have Takahiro Oshima. So Taka is the voice of the Japanese community of KNIME. He does a lot of things, but most of all, he's the translator of our educational material, including the books, especially the KNIME Beginner Slack, but also the cheat sheets and all the other educational material we heard. He's not only the translator of our educational material, but he's also the developer, or has contributed to the development of many nodes like the Marvin.js nodes and the JChem extensions. Frank Casito is a professor from Indiana University. He wrote a textbook, he published a textbook with Springer, Predictive Analytics with KNIME. So, it's a huge achievement to have a textbook for universities, for university courses about machine learning with KNIME. Hans Samson. Hans does everything. Everybody knows him, either on the forum or for a KNIME webinar or as a contributing author of the blog post on the Low Code for Data Science journal on Medium. So he's a bit everywhere. But the thing he's most famous for are his articles on winning bets on soccer matches. So everybody has read his articles on that. Then we have Mike Wiegand. If you have been on the KNIME forum, you know Mike. He helps newcomers, he helps experts on solving KNIME problems, workflow problems with KNIME. but he's also providing a lot of feedbacks, bug reports, and feature suggestions. So he's definitely one of the pillars of the KNIME forum. And then finally, but not least, we have Marcel Calfi, who has been a huge help in creating all the material that help people migrate from Alteryx to KNIME. So he has been presenting the KNIME webinar. He has helped with the course, for people who want to move from Alteryx to KNIME. And of course, he's also a KNIME certified trainer. Okay, so I've given a quick introduction to our COTM here. Some of them, we have them here, and we have decided to use these trends to learn from them, either in the business way or in the education world, or just in the technical world with tips and tricks. So we're going to have two panel discussions. The first one is about scaling KNIME for business and education. It will be moderated by Roberto Cadili and Arian Peters. And the second one will be tips and tricks from KNIME Ninjas, and it will be moderated by me and Raffaello Barri. I would like to say just that Arian Peters and Raffaello Barri were Contributor of the Month awarded in the previous season, but we have called them here so that we could make you pass the trophy from the last season Contributor of the Month to this season Contributor of the Month. So shall we start then? The first panel discussion.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosaria, for the introduction, and welcome to this panel discussion on scaling KNIME for business and education. So I would like to invite the guests of my panel discussion on stage. Thank you very much. Okay, so I set some of them here in this panel discussion because, as Rosaria has already mentioned, we have a second panel discussion with the Ninja. So stay tuned, especially if you are watching us from home. The guests in our panel discussion today, they are software engineers, they are customer intelligence analyst, they are solution expert, and they've contributed to the KNIME community in many different ways. Some, for example, have held webinars on to migration. Some have written books and articles. Some have been very active on the forum, providing support to our community. And so, basically, they have fostered, collaboration and innovation and data science in general throughout the community. And so, thank you again, guys, for the amazing work that you do on our community. I also would like to, before we dive into the questions and we open up for discussion, I would like to thank my co-moderator, Arian Peters. Thank you for being here today with us. Arian is an aviation system specialist, a very complicated title, at RVNL, right? The Netherlands National Agency for Air Traffic Control. So thank you for being with us today. And as was already mentioned, it was awarded COTM in 2023 in June for his support and for his long-standing work as a support specialist on the forum. And with that, I would like to give another round of quick introduction to our guests, so we know exactly who is who again. So we have Marcel Pastor. Marcel, thank you for being here today with us. Data consultant, thank you for being here. And then we have Hans Samson again. Thank you, Hans. Great articles, go over the articles, especially if you want to bet some sport. Then we have Mike Wiegand, and he was ready to provide some great feedback on forum and support. So thank you for the great work that you do there. And Taka, thank you for coming all the way from Japan, guys. So, long way. Thank you for being here with us. And Ruben, if I really was at a shorter way, right? From within Germany, it's it's easier. Thank you, Ruben, for writing great books. And lastly, thank you for being with us and for developing the extension that one of the most used extension on the KNIME community. So thank you very much. And with that, I would like to start the panel discussion, and I think Aaron has some questions for you guys.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the generous introduction, Roberto. That's very nice of you. The first question that is on the table is: what are some common misconceptions or challenges you have encountered when introducing KNIME to new users, and how did you address them? So basically, how do you get people enthusiastic about using KNIME? Marcel, you want to kick it off on this question?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I mostly trained or worked with people from finance. So for them, I mean, like first you when you open KNIME, you see a lot of notes. So first, they can be frightened, like how I gonna know what to use, how to use them, what I have to use, and you have to keep them calm. That yeah, you're gonna get to know to that. For that, it's I mean, like all the cheat sheets that you have are pretty good. So thank you for for me with all of them because it's made this one pretty easy. And also for these people, they mostly like using Excel or SQL at least, or in different cases, Alteryx or other different things. And in this case, it's pretty easy to build a breach. So always you have to find the things which is kind of common, and yeah, you can keep them calm or make them calm easier uh, after the first few weeks or first hours using them. Yeah, I was gonna ask, did it take quite a lot of time to convince them, or were you able to show them the added benefit of Nine very quickly and they will on that? I mean, like, uh, it came up earlier today. I mean, like, you can sit people in front of in front of Nine and make them to play with it. It's just, harder than when want to teach someone to code. You can't really play it with it. So, yeah, I think it's very intuitive and the visual interface is not that frightening than any traditional thing. So, yeah, makes sense. And what about you? Yeah, what about Ruth? What more about other people? Yeah, I think how did you deal with it? That's how it's very difficult. I'm very enthusiastic about Nime and telling also people, well, get started with it. Then they download it, but for a reason they don't take the time or have the patience, the ambition. I don't know what it is to try to just spend 2 hours, 3 hours just playing around with Lime, and I think you're lost. You won't be back to any other tool. So, did you do anything to address that? Did you guide them? Did you? I don't know. I think maybe not enough. No, I should spend more time. More time here, but yeah, there's also my regular work to do, and yeah. I think I don't want to push them. You don't need to, but I think we feel much happier if you do. But it it's up to them. Time to convince them and actually for them to say exactly yes, yeah, what's going on. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Mike, can you relate to that story, or do you have something completely different?
Well, actually, no, it's pretty much the same. Where I'm reducing the complexity first by closing a couple of tabs, a couple of windows, and not feeling the users overwhelmed with the capabilities KNIME offers. And then we most of the time start with very simple examples, and I gave them many. You certainly know Excel, VLOOKUP, search for the node. Ah, better. And then they pretty much are on board and start using KNIME.
Yeah, so you're basically opting for a bottom-up approach, start very detailed, very small, something that they know, and then gradually let them transition.
Then I'm using the sledgehammer, yes.
Yeah. So you're watching it over their shoulder, seeing what they're doing.
Oh no, they are actually starting to get moving on
Okay.
by themselves rather easily once we kicked it off.
Yeah. So they don't really need your encouragement that often to get that. But that sounds very good. But how's it for you in Asia? How's getting younger? If you with online?
Yeah, but usually some provides a training for the Japanese customer, and but sometimes first of all, I created uh, uh, the workflow based on their request, and so then they will modify this workflow to expand it to more many workflows.
Yeah. So if they have a challenge, they basically go to you, ask you to fix it for them. So they're not really
Yes.
so very generous in that. Do people have misconceptions about Nime? Is Nime different than what they thought at first? So if you introduce Nime to people, is it already immediately clear for them what Nime is about, or do they have completely different thought of what Nime is actually capable of actually doing?
Different. I should understand. Right?
Yeah, okay. Basically, the main question was: are there any common misconceptions or challenges? Do people have misconceptions, so wrong ideas of what Nime is about?
So that's
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Robin, maybe to you.
and
Common misconception. I think also mistrust towards the KNIME tool occurs often. So my successful approach is also top down to teach the clients or the students with a real life use case. Meaning they should select a use case which they do every day, referred, and um, I mean, I can motivate them by rebuilding their daily tasks with KNIME in order to get them motivated in terms of um, decreasing their time by doing analysis or increasing the automation degree. And when I translate within the teaching or as an educator, when I translate real life examples within KNIME, um, I can motivate them more than with demo examples, for example.
So it's something that they are familiar with.
Exactly.
It's more tangible for them, and you're not starting with reinventing the wheel for them.
They know
They're not interested
specific
in that.
functions that they use in Excel or in other analytical tools, for example, and it's only a mapping, a translation knowledge that they have to learn. But they clearly see the advantages of KNIME when it comes to saving time and building complex analytics application within simple workflows. And I can persuade them by doing that kind of approach, top bottom.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. As that for you, Manuel, is it a familiar story, or do we have something completely different? What are your experiences in this regard?
Maybe a quick word about misconceptions. Like Taka, well, you misunderstood it a bit, but you said it depends, I think. And it depends where a user come from. If you have a user who never worked with any competitive tools, it's just fine. You explain it to them, they get it. They come from somewhere else. There might be sometimes misconceptions because other tools are kind of processing data raw by rail, what we call strumming in KNIME. But if they come from such a tool, then sometimes it's hard to get that it's a full table that usually gets processed. So that's one learning from the last decade. Challenge. The challenge that I can think of is about KNIME trainings. We had in our company the luxury to have at a certain time a KNIME trainer. Already when gave classes on KNIME, and we could always be sure that he taught the version that we currently use in production. Now, KNIME is doing a great job in life cycle management. That means every half year, if you're a big company, you're always behind. And at the time, we didn't have that trainer anymore. We told the people, well, we're online trainings. It's also a great service. That disadvantage, you really get online training from the last version. And then always complain, well, why don't we have the last version? I cannot use the sample workflows. That doesn't work. So we can't really solve that, but it's something that we may consider maybe to provide training material for and also the second last or the third version to have that available because it makes life then much easier for the users.
And then users are more willing to pick up the software because they see basically in action what they have been trained.
Yes, exactly. I was saying, well, this is a cool feature. Why don't I have that yet?
They start comparing, I come to you against, I realized it now, and this feature not in the system, basically.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Can I extend it? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I also think you have to include not only the business people for teaching KNIME, but also IT, because I think this is a sustainable model, because IT has to be involved in KNIME analytics or when you build up a KNIME application platform, because each participant have to know what can be delivered by KNIME, what requirements I need, what prerequisites the IT needs, for example, and what the output should be. And I only think when you include the IT in teaching KNIME, it can be a successful model like in your company, because you interact with each other and you don't have any confrontation. Let's say.
If there's anything IT doesn't surprises. So if you draw a line over the fence at the IT department, then we're gonna be very happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Yeah, I think we can move on to the next question. The businesses looking to scale online, what advice would you give to ensure smooth integration with existing systems and workflows? So once you have established a small scale online operation and everybody is satisfied, how are you going to scale it up and actually get more people on board? Anyone which already has an immediate thought on how you would approach it or how you have approached it? I think maybe you one of the biggest.
Yeah, I can also go add to this point, teaching the IT
Mhm.
and setting up when you use the business hub, setting up different deployments like development, user acceptance test, production, and also specify um, or setting up specific persons with specific roles. And yeah, that everyone should have his own roles and tasks, let's say. Because yeah, when you have a look at the resources, for example, and or production resources, there is a lot of attention in the company, and so yeah, you should split the deployment phases, etc. That you have a smooth integration into also the third party applications.
But then do you also assign like an implementation manager or something that coordinates all of those activities?
Yeah, definitely. I think you have a succession model or a successful model in your company. Maybe you can tell something about your roles in the company.
Well, there's one roles. One very important role indeed is what we call a service or operations manager. That's kind of the key guy in our team who also interacts with the users if they have questions. That's something we didn't always have. We have that set up since only 2 years or so. So before that, we was focused more on technology things. I don't. Maybe that's also what we learned a lot. Maybe a few words about technology related things. One important thing I think is a promise that we make to our users. We have 9 servers, but you develop workflows locally. And when you do this, you want to be sure that when you run something locally, that it acts exactly the same you run it on the server. And this is not something that you get for granted. This is something that you have to set up. And for us, that means we have defined a feature set that we support. And we deploy this in our case on our Linux environment. We also support Windows or Mac, but it's a different story. And for Linux, we promise when we run it on Linux, it will work on our servers because they all run on Linux. And if there's an extension missing, if a user wants it, there's a process, we can request it through the service managers and we will add it. Yeah, if we approve it. And I think that's probably the most important thing because it's trust, right? And it's predictable, like it's predictable, it's trustworthy. If I have software that runs locally, I also want it to scale up then on the server side. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe the others want to jump in, Mike. How's that for you?
So, except involving the high-risk stakeholders from the very beginning and keep them fed with information that they do not start to escalate things, there's also the thing that you want to keep them enraged. And when it comes to IT, when it comes to rolling out things, when it comes to scaling up things, I basically say, hey, don't worry, then because you have full control over it. You can decide which version to install. You can decide which extension to install. You can decide to block certain things, especially when we talk about AI, which in certain companies is a very high risk sensitive topic. Don't be afraid because most of the time people react strangely since it's about change and change always causes some friction and we do know our comfort zone is kind of the antibody of that. So we rather like to not embrace change, but embracing that means actually going forward.
Yeah, makes sense. Hans, how do you manage change within your company? Are people afraid or?
Well, we have a very small team working with KNIME. There's not much change, but what I hear getting IT info for next step to moving to the KNIME Business Hub, yeah, is essential to get it done.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's the perfect opportunity for saying there is a ticket for that.
Yeah, that's the ticket for it.
It's also a way of making it predictable and manageable, right? So if we log what we're doing. Any final thoughts on your side, Marcel, on this topic?
Yeah, I would go one level lower. Okay. So for example, from like a developer side, it's pretty handy if you lay down your best practices or even do sample workflows that your people can, look into, open and build their workflows based on that, because you can save a lot of time if you're, like you're applying clean code in KNIME. So
Yeah.
to open a workflow, it's the same structure. Everything is, documented. So yeah, you can save a lot with that.
Yeah.
So I think lay down the best practice and create like a one pager or something like that, or even more pages for that. Even to train new people and everything, to look similar for all of the workflows. I mean, like I'm coming from like the more boring part from ETL side, so in that case, it's important, I think.
I think concluding, we are having quite a lot of recommended practices, which a lot of people can benefit from. Let's put it like that.
Good. Okay, thank you very much for your question, Ari. And since we have here today two developers also, so in our community, I thought why not asking something about how they developed their extension and what motivated them. So here's a special question for Manuel and Taka. So what motivated you guys to develop your own extension, and what were the challenges, if if there was any, that you found along the way, or was it very easy? Can you share a little bit on your experience developing extensions?
I have to first.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have two extensions that we will have in-house developed. One is our Novartis extension that's really internal, and then we have the RDKit nodes, which is the community extension. Maybe starting with the latter one, the motivation was mine was introduced by Greg Lemper, who is behind the RDKit Chem Informatics toolkit. And when we started using KNIME, it was kind of clear we want to make that functionality available. And then we decided, let's give back to the open source community, not only consume, but also provide. And that's how we started using it. One challenge there was we wanted to have quickly a lot of nodes developed. So when I was the writer started working on this, it became very much clear around really the way of outputting nodes. And now we have, I think, about 70 or so. It's quite a lot. And the first thing was investment, which was kind of a big bet to do, but it will be a bit more of it works. But I created a bit of a framework to make my life easy. And I created a wizard based on the wizard that mine has for creating nodes. But worked quite well. Actually, it would make my life easier. So that I could really focus on the chem informatics functionality and to implement. And then once this framework was in place, it was getting out the nodes. So that's nice. So you can overcome challenges like that. The challenge with internal nodes is stated different. Internal nodes, why would we need them? We have usually enterprise systems that are key systems. We want any systems that hold data, like a data warehouse. And we're asking that already systems that provide searches for that, or to define what data to consume. You want to integrate those systems. And when you do that, then the next question is, this is a complex thing usually. How do you write nodes that can deal with this complexity? The whole point of not writing a component in KNIME, but to have a dedicated node, is to manage the complexity. How do we overcome that challenge? We learned in multiple cycles how to do better. And at some point, we also involved the UX team that we have access to. UX means user experience. So these are the guys who psychologically understand how users think and are able to design nice looking UIs and to make it more manageable. That's how we overcame that challenge.
That's great. Thank you. Taka, what about you guys?
Um, Actually, so I just enjoy programming. So I'm not so I'm motivated, just enjoy programming. But so challenging is so I'm I'm developing by myself because I just integrated Chemaxal library into the KNIME. So this is just uh, keep to quality of from the Chemaxon. Uh, I don't want to lose this quality into the KNIME. So usually I take care about how to fast processing and also don't use so much memory. It is very complicated, but so I always take care. But
So you want to focus basically on efficiency and on delivering something that in the end it's actually quite fast and quite doesn't occupy too much memory and is efficient on the user machine. Yeah, that's great. Because I'm not unfortunately a mathematician, so I don't have the option to use much of your notes. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people who actually have used it and they were very happy with it. So thank you very much. And my next question is for all of you again. And since, well, probably have heard of AI, right? I mean, have you heard of AI? You can nod if you do. It's quite popular, right, these days. So, well, we are in the age of AI, and KNIME is an extension for it. It's the KNIME AI extension. And my first question is whether you have used it, you tried it, and if not, maybe what are the challenges that have stopped you from trying it? And something want to short stuff. And don't judge me, but I haven't used it. uh, actually, I don't know the reason for that. Mainly because I use KNIME for ETL and finance. So, but yeah, homework for me. I have to play with it. Yeah, well, I played a little bit around with it, Mr. KNIME AI extensions. It's fun to do because sometimes there are blog posts with workflows that you can find on the help. I download them and try them out. I didn't create anything myself, but I also want to mention the KNIME AI assistant guy within your KNIME Analytics platform that can help create yeah, all kind of workflows for you. Just give them guy some context, um, and you will see the notes appearing on your canvas. It's very cool, and even with the charts, yeah, it can create beautiful graphs. Say I want a green line, I want blue numbers, etc. It's created on the fly, and you don't need anything to code, but the result is beautiful.
So I'm using AI on a frequent basis, sometimes on very mundane tasks where I'm already skilled and I basically um, double check what the AI gives me back. Like I need the XPath for this node. And then that saves me the time and enables me to stay focused on the actual subject. On the other side, I'm using AI sometimes to just delve into a new topic I haven't read in before to just explore the capabilities. Um, on other occasions, I'm using KNIME like Kai, but also OpenAI on the other side to cross verify the results. Maybe have a conversation between two AIs or just a random number with running an AI, a local, an LLM locally using Odama or other methods to see if it will blend. So if KNIME is able to actually connect to that external tool and see what the results are, if new capabilities are opening themselves, and yeah, just exploring things.
Very much for you. So actually, I'm not user of the MIME, so I'm just distributor of the MIME software in the Japanese guy. So I don't use AI extension by myself. My customer maybe use it, but I don't use it. And Kai also, when I first time using Kai, so Kai can understand the Japanese as well. So I can input the Japanese question and Kai answer the Japanese answer. So this is very surprise. And also, uh, so we will provide a support service for the Japanese customer as a business. But so I'm worried about so our customer don't need our company anymore because they can use Kai to search anything. So I'm just worried. I don't. Of course, I want to use them, but so I'm worried about it.
Yeah, I can add my experience as well. So I'm also scared because I work in a consultancy. It's that's what so ask Kyle, what should I do? And yeah, the replies are excellent. So I used the Gen AI features on the one hand, Kai, especially the e-charts, because I can yeah, overcome the hurdles of native KNIME implementations and visualizations, and also yeah, doing some Python programming. And I also use these features of Kai in teachings, and clients tell me it's tremendous, it's awesome to have this kind of capability to define things by natural language. So thumbs up for that feature. Um, and also the second thing, the AI extensions, meaning using OpenAI, Hugging Face, or GPT for All, is also very good recommendation to the webinar I'm already held, or the workshop. And based on that, I also tried these notes, these new notes with different APIs like on OpenAI, as well as using a custom LLM in GPT for All. And I set up a specific chat agent based on a SAP documentation. So I think you used some kind of barista.
Yeah, it was one with the with the because the machine was in this place actually.
I over some SAP documentation that we often use to relieve or not to bother our SAP customer support. So yeah, and the implementation is successful and works. So also thumbs up for that.
Nice.
I only looked at the demo and then I had to stop because as a company with pharmaceutical research, data would fly on the internet, and which is not possible. So I have to wait until we will migrate at some point to Business Hub, and then I guess we will host our own model.
Oh, okay. So I myself and I'm and you want to read.
Okay. So I'm myself a KNIME general enthusiast. Therefore, I am keen to know, has anyone actually managed to deploy a use case involving a general extension into production, either at their own company or a customer? And then in the year, how well that the privacy concern perceived or alleviated. So just to sum up, have you already deployed some of the solutions with Gen AI, with AI onto the, for example, the Line Business Hub? And if you did, whether some concern, for example, like privacy concern, how did you deal with that? Does anybody have already deployed something? Nope.
Not yet, but I think it can be a topic for the next contributor of the month.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're listening and you want to deploy your Gen AI model, then it's a great opportunity. And that's a good question.
I think the real question is why haven't we yet?
Yeah, that's a little bit, that's a little bit question.
I think the point here is that first of it's still a playground, a large playground, by the way, but there are some legal hurdles. First, the data processed, and you simply don't know what's happening, and you can't really understand how did the AI model come to that conclusion. That's still stuff that's being researched. So unless we gain that certainty that result which is presented back is valid, I can understand it, then until that point, it's unlikely it's going to be en masse on large scale enterprises.
Yeah, so the black box problem. Exactly. Yeah, that's I think very valid concern, and that's why exactly the the challenges. And I would imagine that you guys would go in the direction like also what Manuel already said, that some data are constrained by some privacy, and of course you cannot let me simply just do it through black box system. Yeah. But okay, great. Thank you very much for answering these questions, and we have a few minutes before the next other discussion, and I would like to give you some awards, guys, because I mean you did a great work. Not only today with the final discussion, I mean mostly for your contribution. And okay, I'm gonna hand on some prizes. So the first one is for Taka. So Taka, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Indulgence. Okay, and then next one, like what's other you? Thank you very much. And Alice, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Marcel, okay, this is close to was thank you very much. And yeah, we need to go on it. I'm going to wait for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And our last one, last but not least, Robin. We have to keep books until lunch. All right, so thank you very much for being part of the panel discussion and for sharing your insights. And with this, I would like to give back the mic to Rosaria, and I will ask our guests to leave the stage for the next part of the discussion. Thank you very much.
So the next panel discussion now, my co-moderator, Raffaele Barli,
Hello.
he's the ninja from last season, so that's why he's here. This panel discussion will be about tips and tricks from our KNIME Ninjas. So first of all, I would like to say that there are the contributors of the month, and inside the contributors of the month, we have the KNIME Ninjas, Ninjas. So what are the ninjas? There is the challenges, the series Just Name It, right? And you know that it goes on. There are 13 challenges to complete. So, you know that we have a problem to solve. We publish the problem on Wednesday. We publish the solution the next Tuesday, and people have 1 week of time to solve the challenge. If you want to know more, you can check on the KNIME forum. There are all the details, and there are also the current solutions published. And so, what the KNIME Ninjas? Well,
Very good question. So KNIME does keep scores of the number of solutions that each user is uploading on the forum. So at the end, the users that are successfully able to complete all the challenges are awarded with the title of ninjas. So today we invited some of them. The rest are from season 2 because, of course, season 3 is still ongoing. And so let's call them. First one is Ever Mondet, Premium Mathematician at Victoria Conference. That one. Eventually, Yoshida, Silver Scientist from Externals to Athletics Japan. Welcome. Anil Kumar Sharma, BGM Profiles at the Blue India. India. Welcome. And Bertold Belmos, Managing Consultant at ILSUL Airbus. Welcome. So these are our top challenge servers and top experts from the community. Welcome, everyone. And let's start with the questions. Okay, so first question. How hard is it to become a ninja? Maybe Heather, you want to start?
Okay. So in our season, there were 30 challenges. So I would say it takes a lot of dedication to be able to complete them all. But obviously, we're not left to struggle. There is the forum with a dedicated area for you to talk to the other people taking part and to share your solutions. So I don't know if anyone else wants to go.
Okay. Okay. So, well, not being our end, but to be honest, it wasn't so difficult for me because I just enjoy solving the challenges and everything is just open up the possibility for kind of a new field. And I just enjoyed it. So, yes, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aaron?
Yeah. I think this is more about a journey. Like, you don't see this is a winning kind of a title. Like, you don't see that, this is like, a race where you have to win it. Like, this is every challenge gives you a different kind of perspective where you want to see a problem and then approach for it. So this is more of a learning experience than winning a title. So, I'm really, I just wanted to go beyond my own comfort zones. So that is what like I see it.
Nice comparison.
Better?
Yeah, thank you. So I would not necessarily say hard. It needs, just as Heather said, dedication, and it needs the ability to research because no one knows all the solution from the start. Yeah, and the level of time, I think, because you have to solve everything in time, of course.
Yep.
Thank you. So, next question. How has participating in the challenge influenced your approach to data science projects? Want to start, Bertrand?
Yeah, I would like to start. I'm not a data scientist. I'm more of a data analyst and data engineer. So for me, the data science approach was formed by the challenges heavily because it was it was introduced to me how data science projects are, and it was very transforming for me. So for my perspective on data science.
Anu?
Yeah.
Ron?
See, I think through the challenges, what I found is like you have to look for the problem per se. Like you have to understand the problem and then attempt for the answers. And through the like 9 challenges, I found it is that you have to look. There are many ways to attempt it, and
Yeah.
it is more easier to attempt and explore it in 9 than any other application. So if the same would have been in Excel, then it would have taken a lot of your time and then a lot of effort in exploring different approaches. So it is more fun than to approach different expressions than in 9.
Yeah.
Hey. So, well, I personally do not have anyone to ask the question actually. So my knowledge is kind of very biased, and that's why I'm challenged. It actually helps me to open up the mind for other fields. Like I've never known that the KNIME can combine with like a Google map or something, and I just didn't know that. But if there's a challenges like this, I can just try to find the like a way to solve the problem, and I just found it, and so it really could help me to open up a new field.
Thank you.
Edward?
And I think I can add that for me, I found it useful to find resources, like open source resources, and be able to combine and incorporate those into a data science project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have another question. So now you are the top experts. So what advice would you give new KNIME users on how to start building their first workflow? Maybe we start with Bertolt.
It's okay. We should survive. Okay, but just a little surprise.
Okay, so not for very new users, so they saw mine. But the elegant thing would be to say that you have to put a paper, write some pseudo workflow or something like that. But I think that's not the way with mine because it's very fast and intuitive and you can just start. So you put an Excel reader or CS reader node there and start constructing your workflow. So put a row filter node, see what the output are, and put a pivot table, pivot node there. And yeah,
So I think with NIME, if there is a really big data set, then you have a row sampling or something like that, but you do not have to start from the white paper. White paper.
I think to start with, you will have to understand the problem, and that is where everybody starts with. And with the nine, it becomes very easier to start with this, and because you can explore different ways to do that. And next challenge, next approach would be to just mimic what you are doing in the current applications. Like in Excel, you start with reading the data, or uh, putting up the data, and then in whatever the ways or steps you are doing it, just follow that. Then you will be able to and there are different dedicated nodes for each step to it. So that is why nine has different nodes. So just follow those steps, and you will have then one results for that. Mhm. If you
Okay. Well, so what was the question?
How would you advise a new user to start?
So, well, I'm actually the medicinal chemist, so I have to do the wet lab experiment, and it needs time. So it takes time to get the result. But in the nine, it's very short. I mean, you can just click it and get the result. So I feel like we don't have to be afraid of failing the experiment. So we can just do it, try it, and then fail it many times, and then you will see the results. Yes.
Thank you. As the others have said, and it sounds obvious, but I think just reading your data in KNIME as the first step is the way to look at what you have in front of you, and then think about how you want to achieve your end goal. And maybe if you can break that down into smaller steps that you could make as components, for example, I think it can help you to organize your workflow. But also, like having said all of that, just trying the nodes and seeing how the data changes from the input to the output is the best way to get to grips with what they all do and how you can use them.
So basically, you all said just start. And so basically, just name it seems to be the right name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. So next question. Well, coming back to the comparison of learning nine as a journey, what's next on your nine journey? And are there any features or challenges you are eager to explore? Ever, you want to start?
So for me, it's continuing using the machine learning nodes in KNIME and also all of the chemistry extensions. Um, but additionally, I'd like to try and do some more Python scripting, so more integration of Python into KNIME as well.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay. So,
We are still a small team and we need to develop everything by ourselves. So I actually developed a region storage system in KNIME. And I feel like we have to make some kind of internal node. Like we talked about it before too, like in the previous session. So I'm pretty sure I will make some kind of internal node that is focusing on our technology itself and should be very useful. So it's gonna be the next gen. Yeah. Nice. I mean,
I think I would like to explore more about geospatial nodes. I've tried out 4 or 5 nodes, and it is really vast, and that there are maybe I think 30 plus nodes in that one, and that has been developed with the Harvard University, and that is really a game changer, at least in this space. And certainly I would like to explore more of that one, and how I can integrate in with the present dashboard. So rather than just looking a map into it, but use the different routes and all those things. So I would be happy to explore more on the, in those challenges where I can use some machine learning over there, or maybe certain AI I can build on, and then explore the geospatial part to it.
My favorite extension by
Yeah, yeah, it has been. It has been. Okay, yeah.
nice. Better. So as I said, I'm more of a data analyst and data engineer, and I would like to step into data science. So I started to learn, and with KNIME is so easy because it has this visual framework, and you do not have to know the Python code for that. You just have to grasp the concept, and after that, it's much more easy than learning the code. Focusing on what matters. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, back to me for the next question. So which kind of challenges do you like the most? I mean, there are many types of challenges: data engineering, data analysis, API calls, machine learning. So is there a specific challenge type that is you can consider your favorite one? Let's start from Bertolt.
So my favorite challenge, I think, was have the caddy. Maybe that was the main rate for counting and recognizing golf balls in the on images. And it was very cool for me because it needed a lot of research of how to do that, and I did not know that I could do that. So it was very cool, and that was the moment when I realized that okay, I can do I think everything because I could do that, and I did not know that I could do that. So that is my favorite challenge.
I think text processing is the one, like, I just enjoy it, and maybe Roberto would have put a lot of effort in that direction and all. Like my favorite approaches would be maybe, we can call that, data wrangling, because being in data, like a science user, like I really like that wrangling most. But yes, like thinking beyond it, like, if I see beyond what I can do, like, then the wrangling, I would certainly maybe be like, text processing more than one, and which I learned from line only. Like,
Okay, so maybe I forgot the name of the title, but it's KNIME with ChatGPT. It was a kind of a time that ChatGPT is getting more famous and famous. And I actually regard the ChatGPT as a tool, and also regard KNIME as just a one of the two. I don't really expect that they're gonna be combined like that. So we can use the ChatGPT in the KNIME system. It's very cool. So I really like that challenge.
And for me, I think I really enjoyed all the challenges related to creating visualizations. And because I think you really have to think about the message that you want to convey when you choose the type of visualization. And actually, my favorite was a challenge related to football, which was a surprise. But yeah, that was really fun, and I made like a little movie from the visualization that I created. Yeah.
I remember that, but I remember the movie.
I use, like, I learn Python, my scripting from there only. Like, I try to use it.
Yeah, I remember that one. Very good. So the last question.
So, guys, if you were to choose the last challenge for season 3, what would it be? Heather.
Okay. So on the opposite end of the spectrum from football, I'm going to go for something related to shopping because that's what I do like. And and I like a very traditional in the way that I like to go to a shop, but I know that a lot of people tend to buy online now, and I imagine that there's lots of data related to consumer trends. So maybe that could be a good challenge to visualize the way that shopping trends have changed over the last maybe 10 years. And I think it's something everybody can understand and relate to. So it's not too specific in its theme. So yeah.
Nice. Evan? Oh, well, last challenge for season 3. I would say machine learning, because machine learning is more focused recently, and the seven way of the machine learning is very structured. The first things we have to do is a data curation, and then future engineering, feature selection, and the future model. So it's very kind of a good way to learn the structure, the workflow, and it also helps maybe you for the future things like
everything can be related with the machine learning, and you can just use it for any purpose. So I would say it should be the last challenge. Yeah. Anin?
I think I'm not just waiting for the last one, but but to continue with that, because every challenge I just try learn a different problem itself. So and the way to explore it. But if it were the last one, then I would certainly be looking for something of social media analytics and all, which is certainly it's a you know, it is available. There are a lot of data to it, but yes, you will have to integrate different sources and then analyze it. Like KNIME has Twitter and other reading notes and then processing it. But yes, what about the other one, like maybe Instagram or maybe the Facebook and all, and integrate it and then find out what we can infer out of whatever the sources are there.
Nice. Nice. Better. Yeah, I really like the complex challenges and the challenges you can learn from a lot. So I hope that the last challenge will be some pre-processing and visualization, or before that machine learning and everything included, because I think those are the most interesting one and you can learn a lot from them. Nice. Thank you.
Keep surprising us.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. But does it actually influence the last challenge this season?
So that's a hint, you're getting it.
I don't know, we have to ask Aline. She's the organizer of all those challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the last question. So we can conclude with the trophies.
So here is for Heather. Hiroki. Amin. Bertold. Thank you for participating in this panel. So now, before concluding, we have an announcement, because there was a raffle associated with this Beta Connect, and it was about a ticket for the next summit. So, okay.
Yeah, so thanks to all the several hundred people who have registered and are watching right now. As you know, everyone who registered for the webinar today had a chance to win a free ticket to the KNIME Spring Summit 2025, happening March 18th and 20th right here in Berlin. And I'm proud to announce the winner is Maria Gonzalez. She's a data analyst at Exorbyte. So Maria, congratulations. I'll be contacting you, the details on how to get your ticket, and I'll expect you in March. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Maria, wherever you are. Okay, and then thank you. And I think for today, we'll finish this Data Connect. Thank you for staying with us until the end. And thank you. Congratulations.